How to go from first message to phone number conversation breakdowns. So why should you listen to me? I built a top 1% profile on Hinge, and in the last 6 weeks, I've had 750 girls come to me. I convert about 90% of my matches into actual numbers. So that's the Hinge app there with the notifications. I just click that. And these are just all the girls that come to me on a daily basis. Tons of girls, too many to deal with. It's ridiculous. So that's my proof. So the first conversation breakdown is with Steph, and I sent a creative opener saying, I don't usually give compliments straight away, but you have an excellent taste in men. I'm impressed, Steph. And then she replied with, always do try to make a good first impression. So as you can see there, I sent a creative opener, and obviously her response is positive. If I'm sending a creative opener like that, and it's the same with you guys as well, if you're sending a really, really good opener like that and they reply with something boring or blunt, fuck them off. Like, I don't care. I have so many girls to work with. I just do not care. I'm not trying to, bend your arm to try and talk to me. I don't care, so I'll only work with the girls that, show you interest back, because the conversations are way, way fucking way better. So that's something to make note of. And then we start off with, we're off to a solid start. Let's keep it going. And then I send a question, red or white wine. So this is basically a setup of questions that I'm about to ask her. Either red or rosé. She plays along. 2 out of 2. And then I said, if you said white, I would have had to keep you at arm's reach. So like a playful message there. Dan got both right. I'm surprised. And then this is the third one. So the only thing left to do to make it 3 out of 3 would be to see if you're good company over a few drinks. And then, this is a playful, so like those set of questions were there. Although they are questions, I tried to make them playful. And obviously she played along really well with it as well. So like, obviously look at that and try and implement something like that into your chatting. And then she said, depends on who my company is. So she obviously gives me a small shit test there. And then basically the way you deal with shit tests is you need to like agree and amplify. And obviously, you don't say, oh, me, and like, try and qualify yourself to it. Like, fuck that. You need to come in with like bold confidence. So then I said, well, it's not the other guys in your DMs, that's for sure. So it only leaves you with one other option, implying that it's me. And then she said then, to be fair, I love the confidence. I thought you might send over your number, Steph, so we can get that set up. And obviously, I shoot for the number there, and we obviously secure it. So that's like a really, really good example there of like strong opener, a series of playful questions and stuff like that. I'll make her play a game. And then obviously, there's a shit test in there. We pass with flying colors and then we shoot for the number. It's literally a textbook conversation breakdown right there. So have a good read of it, digest it, and implement this sort of stuff into your texting. So the second conversation breakdown is with Rebecca. So again, we sent a creative opener saying, so are you here to date or to get free food? Honesty is crucial here, Rebecca. I won't judge. She then said both, laughing face. You'll have to take me on one when I get back from my holiday. Again, so we sent a creative opener and then we are literally seeing if the reply is worthy of continuing the conversation. So was it a good reply or a bad reply? Blunt, one-worded, whatever, okay? That's how we continued the conversation. So then I said, to be fair, if you get both, you're getting a good deal. When do you get back? I hope it's not too long, as I'd hate for someone to take your spot. So if I didn't add that thing on the end where it's like, I'd hate for someone to take your spot, that's quite a beta reply. Like, when do you get back? Like, I'm waiting for it. So I had to add that on the end. So I didn't act like a beta because obviously I don't care when she gets back. But I wanted to realize that she's not safe in terms of like someone can take her spot, if that makes sense. So like, that's something that you can implement into your chatting. She then, she takes it well, get back on the 24th. I mean, if they do, they do. You'll miss out though. So, she's backing herself as good company and whatever, as girls do. I guess the 24th isn't that far away. As long as you bring me back a souvenir, you've got yourself a deal. And then she says then, can I be classed as a souvenir? I don't see any ruling against it. Well, you've got yourself one on the way. And then, I'll happily accept that souvenir. I'll also happily accept your number ready for when you return for better communication. So, some good playful back and forth. She's obviously playing along, and then, we shoot for the number at the end then and obviously get it. So again, that's a nice short and sweet. We sent the opener. What's her reply like? Was it good or bad? Then we go into some playful banter back and forth, and then you address how she's replying. Is she still interested? What type of replies is she giving you? And then when the time is right, you shoot for the number. And that's how like the conversations essentially play out. So have a read of it, digest it, and implement it into your own chatting. So the third and final conversation breakdown is with a girl on Bumble, and she actually opened to me and she said, hey, how's your weekend going? And then she corrected herself saying week. I'm half asleep. So what I see a lot of guys do on Reddit, where they put like their texting conversations and ask for advice and stuff on Reddit, 99% of what guys do, when a girl asks you like, you know, how's your week going? How are you? How's your whatever going? Like they answer it directly, and like it's the fucking opposite of what you should do. That just creates, well, you've now put yourself into a boring conversation, and girls have no game to start with, hence why they ask that shit. So if you're directly answering their questions, you just get nowhere because they have no game. Why is she going to sit there and try and game you? Like that's not how it works. You're trying to play them, you know? So never answer a question directly because, like I said, it just creates a boring conversation. So if you look at my reply, half asleep or got a bit nervous entering my inbox late at night, either way, I hope you've got yourself together now. So like that's how I sort of answer girls' questions because, like I said, I just don't want to answer them. They're just boring to start with. So that's how you basically flip the script, make it playful and fun, and now the conversation can get into something good now. And now instantly she's asked me a boring question there, right? And now instantly she's back into my sort of style of conversation. I've opened her up now to start being playful. So damn, you've caught me. It was the nerves, not the fact I struggled to stay up past 10 o'clock. Like I said, she plays along well. I thought as much, but don't worry, I'll make sure we stay on track. I hope you'll make it past 10 on the first date. Maybe a few drinks can assist you with that. So, you know, I get it back on track, jokingly, and I basically send out like a date feeler request there, implying that, you know, on a future date with her, you know, can she make it past 10 o'clock, you know? So like that's like a creative way of just slinging that in there without directly saying, oh, let's get on a date, you know what I mean? Like that's not how you should do it. So yeah, that's a really good reply from me there. And obviously, yeah, it displays a bit of leadership as well in a playful way. That's good. As long as I can rely on you, don't worry about that. On a few drinks, I can go all night. So then she plays into what I said there. So now she's cooperating. It's going well. So now I know the interest is there. She's basically said yes to a future date without directly saying it. So now I just need to go and shoot for the number. I'm reliable as they get. Good to hear. Send over your number and we can look to get that set up. Like I said, never ask for the number. Tell her to give it to you. And then obviously number secured. So that right there is how you go from her doing a boring opener, which can create a shitty conversation and a boring one, for me flipping it to making it fun and playful. And like she responded well to all of them. And then we got the number. So like that's how it is. So give it a read, digest it. Look how I say certain things, why I say certain things. And your conversations can be fun and playful like this as well. So those are the 3 conversation breakdowns. But like I said, go back through the video, read them all, digest them all, and implement some of the stuff that I do in my chatting into your chatting. And like, you know, you will level up. It's as simple as that. But if you need any more help with this, coaching and stuff like that, I do offer coaching. So if you are interested in that, head to my IG bio, connor.pranky, give me a message, say you've come from YouTube, and we can sort something out. But other than that, see you in the next video.